Good morning, hello and welcome to the Hoof GP. Today's a big one. Craigie boy's back, not that I'm bothered. And we've got loads going on.
This is the Hoof GP.
And I won't let it rush when I see you dance. And the moment comes when I fall and time goes slow. I fall into you.
So yes, regular viewers of the videos will notice Craig's not been here for 4 weeks. That's been a combination of COVID, sickness and being on holiday and costs. So I'm glad he's back because it's going to lighten the load. And to be honest, it's somebody to chat to when I'm at work. But we'll try not to let him know that we've missed him all that much. Anyway, coffee time. Oh, life without coffee would be... well, it wouldn't really be life, would it? I'm so happy you're back! I'm so happy he's back. Glad to be back.
I'm happy to be back. I missed you, Graham.
He'll feel like he's been totally out of the game. It's 4 weeks. So Craig was off with COVID. We both had COVID, but I didn't really have COVID. I had COVID, so I had to be off work for a couple of days, but there was nothing wrong with me. Craig, on the other hand, felt like absolute
That's an understatement. I felt awful, really awful.
Yeah, so he was off for about 10 days, I was off for over a week in total, I think. And then we had some time off that we had planned anyway. Craig had like 10 days off, I think, was it?
Yeah, 10 days holiday.
He was in Greece, Kos, Rhodes, all over the place, sunning himself. So it's been a challenging month. It's been a really challenging month, but he's back now. And the videos will be back online, but more importantly, hoof trimming shall resume normal service. But first, we've got a big ball to play with. So the Navara is away for an MOT, which is an annual check here we need to do for all vehicles. And unfortunately, their balls are different sizes. You see, the Ranger has got a ball this size, which is a UK hitch. But the Appleton needs one this size. So we need to swap them over because we need the Appleton today for the place that we're going. So let's get that swapped over. By the way, new merch is on its way. It's currently being manufactured. Lovely. And now that we've swapped balls, let's get to the farm. This one's at Dromore, which is right on the southwest coast of Scotland. It's actually further south than some parts of England, believe it or not. And they've got some beautiful Montbelliard cows to trim.
It's been like this ever since we kissed.
And just like that, we're here. There. We're at the farm, but we have a little problem. They're short of staff, and that place is filthy. Tractman Graham to the rescue.
I don't know what it is, but it's been like this ever since we kissed. I don't know what to do, 'cause I long for you every single night. I don't know what it is, but it's been like this ever since we kissed. I don't know what to do.
Jack of many trades, master of some. Reverse the pickup in, or crush. It's more difficult reversing the Ranger than it is the Navara because of the back on the back. I mean the cab on the back. Can't see so well. Lovely. Let's get some cows. So this farm has around 700 cows. Today there are only 16 pulled out for us. And of them, maybe 7 or 8 have got slight lameness issues. That is a well-managed farm.
We don't always need sawdust, but on ones like this where the exit from the crush is on a downhill and the floor is fairly slippy, it's fantastic for giving the cows grip. It also helps to keep things clean.
Although it is a bit of a dusty farm now,
These are Montbéliard cattle, and they're known as dual-purpose cows because they give good quality of milk at a decent quantity, but they're also fairly close to beef breeds, meaning they're good for both ends of the market. We like to keep the race as full as we possibly can. Because of their herding instinct, cows are naturally much calmer and quieter and more comfortable when they're with their herd mates. So making sure the race is full is good for the cow's stress levels. Now let's crack on and see just how good some of the cow's feet on this farm truly are. Clearly there is nothing really wrong with this cow's foot, but if you look at the lateral claw, that's the outer one, the one closest to us, it is much bigger than the inner claw, and that's why I've not really reduced any of the height from the inside claw, but I have reduced the whole height of the lateral one, so that the weight bearing surfaces are level. When we pick up this hoof though, we can immediately spot a problem.
First cow, first problem, look, she's got a stone stuck right in the heel of her foot. I don't think this will be anything major though. Hahaha, it's barely even a stone.
Doing routine checks on cows' feet is so important. Clearly we've just found a stone, and look, here's another one. Imagine if these were left completely unchecked. They would become a problem. Right now, because this farmer's on top of his game, they are not a problem. This will not affect the cow in any way. Having been left to its own devices, however, for another month or so, and it could have been a completely different story. Come on then folks, just how deep does that crack go? About 0.5 millimetre it turns out.
That would clearly be causing a little bit of discomfort, but nothing major at all, and that trim sorted her out. People who say cows that are inside, that's why they become lame. It's just not true. They just get different problems when they're outside, like these cows are. So as a hoof trimmer, you subconsciously notice cows' lameness and their mobility. You notice how well they walk. And when we arrived, I noticed that the lamest of the bunch here was a little black cow on her front, maybe right foot? I'm not sure if it was her front right or left. I didn't notice that closely, but I noticed she was definitely the lamest. That's her in there, behind those two orangey, reddish kind of cows. So we'll keep an eye out for her and see what's wrong when she comes into the crush.
But as there's no predisposed order as to how we trim the cow's feet, we just crack on and trim whoever comes first, before getting to that little Jersey cross cow.
Hold on a bit more, 'cause I know you only see the rain, not the rainbow. Deep down, I know you're strong. Give them hell, baby, prove them wrong. Just hold on a bit more, 'cause I know you only see the rain, not the rainbow. I know you'll get up again. Better stand up tall, I know you can be brave, brave, brave. I know you can be brave, brave, brave. I know it did you wrong, wish I could take your pain away, 'cause I hate seeing tears streaming down your face. I know you're strong.
And just like that, after trimming a few cows, it's time for this little Jersey cross to come into the crush and see if we can find out what's wrong with that foot. If it is a foot. Despite being certain that it's one of her front feet that she's sore on, we still start on the back, and that's because we have a routine when it comes to this. We don't want to miss anything out, and when we deviate from that routine, maybe it's just because of my personality, but sometimes things can be missed. So we trim her back feet, which are indeed pretty much perfect. Out of habit, I usually notice any overgrown cow's feet before they come into the crush, and I noticed that her feet are far from it. Usually, when a cow's lame on her front feet without any overgrowth, it points to one thing: an abscess in the white line.
So So that is what you would call a search cut. In other words, I'm just trimming away a little tiny portion of the solar horn to see if I can see anything obvious. And unfortunately, I haven't yet. So next up, I'll just move to step 2 and model out the soles. Finally found a knife I absolutely love. Wonder who designed those. Okay, so we've flattened off the surfaces, made sure they're level, equal and the right angle. Nothing is transpiring though. So next it's time to look in between her claws. She's got all mud and grass stuck up in there. Which is fine, that's not a problem. So I've had a really good feel around her foot, there's nothing obvious, and I can't see anything up in between her claws. So what we do is we use these. They're called hoof testers, and basically they can apply a huge amount of pressure to a small area. So hopefully we can pinpoint the problem. Can you see that's actually flexing the sole, but it's not hurting her at all because she's not reacting. Try up here. Same again, it's fine. And it's fine up here. So we'll check the other claw. Oh, slippy, slippy.
In some cases, this tool can literally mean the difference between completely curing a cow and doing nothing for her whatsoever.
Again, she is not reacting in any way. I now know exactly what the problem is because I spotted something wrong when she was coming into the crush, but I thought it was probably linked to something on her foot because it often is. Now that's not the case, so let's see what the problem actually is. So if you look in here, she's swollen. She's all swollen in her ankle, this part here. If you look here, there's no sponginess, well a very, very small amount, but I can feel the bone structure really easily and it's not inflamed in any way. Hold the two together and it's very slight, but there is definitely some inflammation on this foot and I'm struggling to feel the bone structure through the flesh. So I'm often asked, does it occur that there's nothing I can do for a cow? Well, in this case, unfortunately, yes. This is a job for the vet. She's got some sort of inflammation within the deeper tissues of her ankle. I am a hoof technician, a bovine claw specialist, a cow pedicurist, not a vet. So what we'll do is we'll recommend to Robert, the owner of this farm, that this cow sees the vet. But it is interesting that the lamest cow on this farm doesn't have anything wrong with her feet at all. That's out of 700 cows. A couple of the ones behind us do have small issues with their feet, but they're not really affecting them in any major way. They're just uncomfortable.
I'm always eager to get cows like this out of the crush and onto the concrete so that I can have a much better look at what the problem could be.
Now that I can see her out and walking about, I can see that her knee is also swollen. So yes, she is slightly swollen in the ankle, but the knee portion was much more swollen, and that's why she's so sore. It's difficult for us to see them when they're in the pen and the race and see exactly what's wrong. But now we know what's wrong, the vet should be able to fix that fairly easily.
So limb damage too, yeah?
Yep. So Craig will mark on the computer system, now that I can tell him to do it, that she has limb damage level 2. That basically means that she is having pain inflicted on her because of it. He'll also mark down that she needs an injection and that the vet needs to see it. And that way, it'll be highlighted to the farmer when he sees it online on his report. Done, on to the next cow. After the coffee. You must get so bored of watching me drink coffee. You really must.
So after that quick reset, it's back to the job in hand and trimming the rest of these cows. I've just got to say, by the way folks, I'm sitting here doing a voiceover having just arrived back from a conference I did down south in England. A conference I was really nervous about attending. You never know what the reaction from other hoof trimmers and vets from around the world could be, and I've got to say, we had an absolutely fantastic weekend. It really was awesome, and this community is fantastic.
And that is the last of this first lot of cows. We've got one more to come from another farm. You see, this farmer farms about 3 or 4 different farms all together and they milk at 2 different parlours. So rather than have us move situation all the time, or farm, that would have been a better word, all they do is they take the cattle float, which is a lorry or truck or box or trailer or whatever you want to call it, behind the tractor to the other farm, pick the cows up there that need trimmed and bring them here for us. But luckily today there's only one, so all we're going to do is wait in the tractor coming. Hello, come on. She's actually already got a block on, so it'll be interesting to see what's wrong. So, this cow has an axial wall fissure, something I don't like. All we're going to do is tidy it up. She is actually starting to heal. We're going to tidy it up, treat it again, and decide whether to keep this block on or not, or even add a new one.
Cracks like this, that run right up that inside wall, which we call the axial wall, are really troublesome. They are really hard to cure, but with a bit of persistence and perseverance, you can overcome them. This cow is starting to heal. Clearly you never saw her before, but I'm sure you can appreciate from what her foot looks like, it was an extreme case. Hopefully you can appreciate why I hate these so much. They just seem to work their way right up inside the hoof capsule and cause these cows an immense amount of pain. As it is, she will be much more comfortable than she was on the first visit. And now that we've removed the bulk of the overhanging and detached horn, we're applying salicylic acid to try to kill away the outer and affected skin cells so that she can finally grow fresh, healthy hoof horn.
So as that cow makes her way back to the lorry or truck or vehicle to go back to the other farm, it brings this video to an end and the story of her recovery further down its route. Guys, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for being part of the herd, thanks for being a part of this journey and for liking, subscribing, commenting, sending love messages, emails, everything that you do. I really appreciate it all. And there is merch coming soon. Catch you later. Bye now.